The elevation of new cardinals, certainly a cause for celebration. The occasion also warrants a closer look at these prelates. Here to tell us more about the new princes of the church is one of the world's foremost Vatican experts, Crux editor John Allen. John, thank you for being with us. John, each will have his own priorities, obviously, but more importantly, they all in some way can potentially play a role in shaping the world's perception of the Catholic Church, if only by virtue of their diversity, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, let us remember, first of all, that the most important thing a cardinal will ever do is cast a vote for the next pope. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And so they have a role in shaping the future of the church. In addition, the places they come from, the backgrounds that they bring, all do make statements about the priorities of the church, particularly under this pope.
John, I'm eager to talk about their encounter with the press. Many answered key questions about their intentions, and you have insight on 4. I want to begin with Cardinal SAKO.
Yeah, well, Cardinal Luis Raphael SAKO is the patriarch of the Chaldean Catholic Church in Iraq. Now, of course, we all know that the Christians in Iraq have been victims of what even the U.S. State Department has officially recognized as a genocide. From a Christian population of about 1.5 million at the time of the 2003 Iraq War, they're down to about 300,000 now. The very survival of the Christian community in Iraq is at stake. And so by elevating the head of that church as a cardinal, Pope Francis is obviously making a very powerful and poignant statement of solidarity with what is arguably the most martyred and suffering Catholic and Christian community anywhere on the planet.
And which other prelates did you talk with, John?
Well, I found very interesting my conversation with Cardinal Joseph COUTTS of Pakistan. Pakistan is, of course, an overwhelmingly Muslim nation, one of the most important Muslim nations in the world. It's a nuclear power. It's a linchpin nation in its region. Cardinal COUTTS talked about what he sees as a deteriorating climate for religious freedom in Pakistan measured against its original promise of tolerance. We talked about the case of a Christian minister, the only Christian minister ever in Pakistan's national parliament, who was martyred. We talked about an illiterate Catholic mother of 4 who is currently on death row in Pakistan for having violated that country's so-called blasphemy laws. In all of these cases, Cardinal COUTTS talked about the struggle he faces between, on the one hand, wanting to speak out, and on the other, not wanting to make things worse. It's a great object lesson in the complexities, I guess, of the global church. I was also very fortunate to have a conversation with Spanish Cardinal Luis LADARIA. He is the head of the Vatican's Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, involved in all of the major doctrinal controversies in the Catholic Church these days. Very interesting to hear him talk about how he is trying to bring Pope Francis's pastoral approach to the realm of doctrine. And finally, there's Cardinal Giovanni Angelo BECCIU, who for all 5 years of Francis's papacy up to this point was his sostituto, that is his substitute, basically his chief of staff, probably the single most important person on a day-to-day basis in trying to make Pope Francis's agenda real. He is now taking over the Congregation for the Causes of Saints. It will be fascinating to see what kind of role Cardinal BECCIU plays from here. So it may be a small consistory, Liz, just 14 cardinals in all, only 11 under the age of 80 and therefore eligible to vote for the next pope. But you know, Liz, as they say, sometimes big things come in small packages.
They do indeed say that, John. Thank you so much. We're so happy that you were able to bring us some insight, if only on 4. But again, with such a diverse class, I do expect great things to happen from them. Thank you so much for making the time.
Always a pleasure.